Hey guys, I don't know who needs to hear this, but I'm going to go ahead and say it. Trauma is contagious. Trauma is contagious. Let me tell you why I said it, right? I know it's somebody out there like, well, you just got through saying that you will shoot your baby daddy. If he, well, people who don't care to know why, they just gonna stop it there. But the ones say no, but she did say if he love bomb her, manipulate her, this and any other. All right, let me say this before people feel like, oh, she's just toxic, she's faking it, she's not really that way, and all the different types of stuff. First of all, I've been through numerous of domestic violence. I'm talking about numbers of it. I'm talking about to the point now that I'll be 34 next month, and I am in no rush of a relationship at all. That's just how much of it I have been going through. And trauma is contagious. I can go so far back, man. Even as a child, before I had my first boyfriend, and I shoved him real hard, and he was like, "You hit me first." Yeah, I did. Not growing up in a home where my mother and my dad fought, I didn't see that. I didn't see them two fighting. I never saw that. However, I have dealt with the term sibling rivalry thing, right? Where, I was a girl. I couldn't hang out with my brothers and his friends, even though I was a tomboy. I couldn't, sit and talk with him because I was too young, and I always had to stay out his room. You know how, if you ever watch Arthur, this DW, right? I was like the DW. You know what I'm saying? But I just wanted to be involved. It's just like her DW, where she just wanted to be involved. She didn't want to be annoying. She just wanted to be involved. So went through a lot of years where my brother kind of just didn't want to connect with me like that. So we argued a lot. When I would get fed up, we fought. I had my brother, he, either we didn't talk, or when we did, we agreed when I would do something for him, or which asked mom and dad something, to like watch TV, but I couldn't watch what I wanted to watch. If I wanted to play school or something like that, he would come through and kick my dog babies. And those were my babies. I had 25 of them. Those are my babies. You would not kick my dog babies. You know what I'm saying? So I will fight about that, and we both get a whooping. And, the norm. But I thought that, I grew up thinking that eventually those things would change, and it did, but it didn't. So it's more so of having, some people have that close bond with their siblings. I didn't get that. Not in that way. I think I'm more closer to my youngest brother than I am my oldest brother, but I'm going to get down to it. Trauma is contagious. My oldest brother was traumatized by something when he was young. So by the time I was born, he was already traumatized by something, and he didn't know how to take me. He didn't know how to receive me. And so that end up passing down to how I felt like I should be in relationships, because I would get all my advice, the advice he would give, like no dude want no jealous female. So I took the advice from my brothers. Like my brother, I would do that. And so just like any other younger sister or younger sibling would do. You look up to somebody and you take their advice, because especially if, you never really was taught about boys. So you get the little advice that you could get. It wasn't until I got out there and just started kicking it with the guys type shit where I started learning more about boys and learning how they think. And, but for the most part, I learned through experience, and a lot of times, there was guys who was going through their own trauma. And like I said, trauma is contagious. So whatever I would experience from the relationships, I assumed that I would just take a little bit of the, I tried to get some of the good of this, some of the good of this. This happens. But as soon as one thing looks familiar that you think they might do, you assume that they might do this, you might do that. So you find yourself thinking that you should figure them out when you should just take it slow. That's why I tell people, don't try to figure me out. That is not the route to go. Take your time, because like I said, trauma is contagious. And some people, they heal from trauma and they teach people how to get over trauma, but some people continue the trauma on and on and on. So back to the beginning of this video where I was like, some people was like, well, why would you say that about your child father? Well, first of all, when somebody has, when you have witnessed, it ain't somebody just told you, you have witnessed physical, things that took place between the person that or had a child by and another person. When you have physically witnessed something like that, you just off the bat, like, okay, well, you ain't finna bring that shit over here. Only a fool would think that a person would change due to how they look, how they shape, or how much money they got. Only a fool would think like that. A person is only going to change if they choose to change. So I stand, I'm just saying, like, to each his own type thing. But if a person chooses not to get their act right, and you just hopping from one relationship to the next, and think about it, some people, especially when it comes down to children, once they see that type of stuff going on within the home, they grow up believing that's the way to love. See, how you grow up, how you love as an adult is how you were raised to love. So if a child witnessed two people fighting all the time, they're going to assume that that's how you're supposed to love somebody. And that person might have grew up in a home that didn't involve all those different type of things. People mistaking the things that I went through as I experienced it between parents. I didn't experience that between parents. I experienced that in relationships. Dead ass. And even that shove that time, the first time with my first, boyfriend, relationship or whatever, it went to another level because he felt like he needed to get his lick back. And so, of course, I'm not going to let you just, if I said, I told you I wasn't going to do it again. And once a person begin that, they're going to keep doing it and it gets worse. It just gets worse. So, like I said, you be a fool to think that a person just going to change because of who you are. It don't matter who you are, what kind of status you have. It's all about who they are, whether they willing to change. That's why I say what I say. What about, I don't understand. Like, if I'm telling you different ways to help with your relationship, see if it work out for you. Okay? Not every woman have been a side chick, and not every side chick have been somebody's wife, and not every side chick, you know what I'm saying? You kind of get what I'm saying? Like, not every side chick remains a side chick. People are always subjected to change. Change is inevitable. But if you know somebody who been in that position and been ridiculed, bashed, think about it. If somebody went through that much horrific type of trauma when their intentions were never there in the first place, but that's the reputation that they gotta live with, because I don't like them, and this person is telling you ways to help your relationship, and that person chooses not to change, baby, it's not what I'm telling you, it's the person that you're with. They have to choose to do that. That's a choice. You cannot make somebody do something they don't want to do. Okay? So I want to tell y'all this. Trauma is contagious. Once somebody have been traumatized, they have to go through the healing process. You cannot force something to be a certain way, and that you know that they have experienced something that was harsh on them. You have to take your time with people like that, because you never know where they at mentally, and you don't know if they're at a point in their life where they become, I don't know, give me this. You don't know if a person then got to the point where they ready to snap, because they haven't been able to cry, they haven't been able to scream, they haven't been able to get to that place of acceptance. You can't, when somebody is traumatized, you can't go through the same patterns with somebody. So y'all need to, I don't know if it's just the age difference or how we looking at, but honey, let me tell you, I'm at a place where, because I've been in so many I'm talking about, it wasn't it's just a night or two or type. I've been in longevity relationships where there was a real give and take. If I didn't see a give and take in a situation with somebody, it did not last. A person that knows their worth is not going to settle with a person who would not reciprocate the same type of energy. When I go places, man, I want to be able to spoil my man without him knowing I'm finna bring him something home. Just being honest. But you know how you gotta deal with your insecurities too now. Real talk, you gotta deal with your insecurities. Deal with your insecurities, and you bringing that rah-rah stuff to your guy or whatever. Trust me, I've been there and done that. That's like a switch, especially if they mind somewhere else, and you constantly bringing this same old nonsense that have nothing to do with nothing. You comparing apples with oranges, and he already just stressed out and stuff like this. So y'all need to listen to the shit I'm telling you, y'all. You need to listen to what I'm saying. First altercation I had with my husband is because he left to go help his best friend. My baby was 3 months, and the milk vouchers were in the car. He hopped in the car with her. My baby in the house crying. I'm doing hair, and I didn't know whether to tell the client, hey, you want to ride with me to the store or something, because my baby was crying. And we had an agreement. And it didn't go that way. And when I said something, because let me tell you, love bombing, they come in, they act like ain't nothing happened. And then when you speak up for yourself, because you didn't like that, you didn't feel like it was a give and take, you going to help me spend the same money I'm doing hair for. At least you could do is help me with the house, the baby or something. You could have ran to the store while you was out, or you could have took the vouchers with you or something. Do something. It was over milk. He made sure everybody else ate, whoever he was helping, but it's a 3-month. Bones ain't even hard yet. Can't get up to walk and go get his own milk. So I said something, and he just blew up. And when somebody damn near 6 foot and I'm 5'2", get up in your face, what the hell you supposed to do? Sit there and be like, okay. No, I'm not. I'm gonna stand on my damn tippy toes, literally. And I'm gonna stand my ground because no. When it comes down to children, oh, you fucking up. You don't know who you fucking with. I don't care who shawty is. It's about a child. She can get up and wipe her own ass. This baby, I got to go get Pampers and all this stuff. I got to wipe his butt. Child can't stand their own ground. Give and take. But yeah, usually when stuff like that happen, somebody can't manipulate you or use you or act a fool with you, because let me tell you, before they act a fool with you in front of the children, they're gonna act a fool with you in private before it get public. When it get public, by the time it ain't got public, this person had already told their friends, their family, all type of messed up, fucked up shit about you, to the point where they are comfortable with making you feel like shit in public. That means they done talked about you in private to other people when you weren't around. They wanted to do that because that's who they really were. You didn't see it. But if somebody experiences some trauma or something like that, you know what I'm saying, they just experienced something unfortunate, give them time. But if you just dealing with somebody who toxic, they done walked out on you and your baby sitting at dinner, and you trying to figure out what's wrong with them, but they go tell their friends, hey, yeah, you know, she acted the fool with me at a restaurant and I ain't even do nothing. That's what they gonna, toxic people do that. So by the time they act a fool with you in public, they gonna be like, man, they crazy. And all they need is one flaw in you to use against you so they can feel comfortable with fucking up your life. Don't say I didn't warn you or didn't tell you that. If you going through something, everything was sweet at the beginning, y'all been working it out, especially like in a marriage. You know, you go through ups and downs and stuff like that. You can work it out, work that shit out. You know what I'm saying? Especially if you're going through something unfortunate, especially within family or stuff like that. But if somebody have shown you some toxic things, because this is the thing I chose to ignore. You know what I'm saying? I chose to ignore everything my husband is doing now or have been doing. He did that before we got married, and I just was so happy that he wanted to get married to me. Because that's how I was raised. Knowing that I wasn't going to be ready for it mentally, because I had already said in my mind, I said, man, nobody going to really want me for me. I'm too different. So, I hope that wrapped that up. It's getting dark and I got to get back to work. Y'all be blessed. I did some facial cake.